You're embarked on a project to improve client service in your firm. So in this short video, I want to talk about what does exceptional client service mean. I'm going to give you 10 ideas that when implemented will lift, I think, your client service levels significantly. So let's start by thinking about client service standards. It's important to have them in your firm. So for example, if a client calls, what is your client service standard for returning that phone call? Could you return all phone calls within 2 hours, for example? What about emails? How quickly do you acknowledge or return emails? Certainly it should be the same working day, but whatever it is, there should be a standard in place so that the client doesn't think the email's just dropped into a black hole. How do you set calendar appointments with your clients? Do you take control of that so that you're booking in phone calls and you're calling the client and making sure you're spot on time every single time? So what are your client service standards? That's idea number one. Now, number two relates to that. So before you go publishing your standards, it's really important that you have systems in place. So by all means, agree on your standards internally, but then before you get to communicating, which is idea number three, it's important to put systems in place in your business so that you know that you can actually deliver on those service standards. So systems comes after designing, and then number three is communication. And so once you're confident you can deliver on those standards, then externalize them. See, it's one thing to have a service standard internally, but it's a very, very different thing to go and tell all of your clients that when I call you as a client, you'll return my phone call within 90 minutes, within 2 hours, whatever it is that you decide upon. That becomes very, very powerful and a differentiator. Here's another idea. Hold a client advisory board, or maybe you do this on an annual basis. So what is a client advisory board? Well, what you're going to do here is invite, say, 15 to 20 of your clients to a meeting. And maybe 10 or 12 of them will come. So you need to invite more than what you need there. They won't all be able to turn up. And so you'll get 10 to 12 people around a boardroom table. And what you then do is you bring in an independent facilitator. And that person will ask some questions of your clients. What they want to know is, what do they really love about your firm? What don't they really enjoy about working with your firm? What are the frustrations that your clients have in working with your firm? What additional services might they like from you? What ideas would they have to improve the firm? And you'll find if you do that, that you'll get some really, really solid input from your clients that will help you as you continue to focus on your client service. And just by the very fact that you're inviting your clients to contribute in that sort of forum, that will be viewed by your clients as really important in terms of the relationship that they have. They'll see that there's only 10 or 12 clients there, and they understand that you have a lot of clients, and so that makes them feel pretty special, as it should do. What about client surveys? When did you last survey your clients? There's technology now that enables you to do this really, really quickly, really simply. You can do longer surveys, you can just do quick surveys, you can just ask your clients one question. For example, you might focus on the Net Promoter Score. You ask your client to score you on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is absolutely no chance and 10 is every day, no problem at all. And the question you ask them is, how likely is it that you would refer our firm to a friend or colleague? That will give you some really, really interesting feedback. And what you need to know about the Net Promoter Score is only when you're getting scores of 8, 9, and 10 do your clients actually say good things about you to other people. And so that gives you a benchmark against which you can measure your client service. If you do this regularly, you can measure your improvement. Who's responsible for client service in your firm? So idea number 6 is give someone that job. Maybe you give them a title. Perhaps it's something like the Director of First Impressions. You can come up with whatever title you want, but that person's primary role is to make sure that client service is right at the top of the agenda, that when a client comes to visit you at the office, the service they get is exemplary. And give them free rein to design the way in which they might interact with people when they come into the office or when clients call on the telephone. What about workflow standards and turnaround guarantees? What if you could say to the client, When you bring in your work on the date we ask you to, and you provide all of the information that you ask us for, we guarantee that we'll have that back to you within 10 days. Many firms strive for 10-day turnaround, but very few firms guarantee that. And the key with a guarantee is it puts it out there to the client, and it actually makes you achieve that. It becomes an artificial deadline. And artificial deadlines can drive real improvements in client service. And once you have that workflow guarantee internally, once again, and you've backed that up with the systems to enable you to deliver on that, and you've put in place the rules, so in other words, only when the client does this, this, and this, can you guarantee the turnaround time, then you communicate that guarantee to your clients. Once again, really, really powerful. And then maybe you take that guarantee up another level and you say, we're going to have a general service guarantee. So this is quite a bold statement to put out there. So you can, again, make the rules around it, but then the final idea would be to communicate that to the clients. And essentially, what you'd say there to the clients would be, our service guarantee is A, B, and C. And you'll find a couple of examples of this in the Learning Hub. And essentially, if the client doesn't believe they've had great service from your firm, then they can tell you what they think they should pay. Now, you can take 1, 2, or all 10 of those ideas and do what you wish with them. Put your own twist on it as well. But do bear in mind, with 2 or 3 of those ideas there, I've said, first of all, craft it internally. Secondly, work on the systems before you go communicating it to the clients. And the really great thing about guarantees is you control the whole rule. And so unless the rules are met, the guarantee is null and void. So think about how can you lift your client service levels so that there's no one else in your competing landscape who offers the same level of client service that you do in your firm. It's a really powerful differentiator when you can get to that level.